What's up? What's up? Getting some shares out here as per usual. We're going to get running right quick. Bear with me. If you feel like it, send out some invites yourself. Let's get this popping. Got a lot to talk about today. It's not going to be a crazy long episode. It's kind of a bit of a test. There's a whole lot going on in the markets, so I'm going to get in here and see what's going on. Couple more shares to go around here. And I'm also working from my laptop, folks. It's a little bit slower than my home PC. I can't do as much stuff. I'm not animated today, for example. Looks like my mouse is, in and out of cooperating, and so on and so forth. We're making it happen here, folks. But like I said, just getting some invites out here. Be going real quick. I just got one more invite to do. We're gonna jump right in here. Right, all right, all right. Let's do it.
You are watching Chaos Crypto News, the crypto news that you need to know.
What's cracking, everybody? Chaos Crypto News here, coming at you live from the mountains. We are out here in the woods. We are using Starlink right now to make this happen. So pretty cool. Starlink's working super fantastic, and we're super excited to be here with y'all. So as always, I want to remind you, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Don't trust, verify. As for Quantzilla news, I don't have a lot of stuff in front of me at the moment, but we do have some exciting stuff going on. So let me fill you in just a little bit right here. We got so what happened here is we've got our airdrop done. So all the holders of over 2 billion Quantzilla got an airdrop. We have also, through that, initiated a way to get the BNB airdrop for Quantzilla holders happening. So definitely check your wallet if you got a single Qzilla. Disconnected. Oh, that sucks. I wonder why. What happened here? Hello, folks. I guess we got disconnected there. If we do, just wait it out. I'm just going to stay here, obviously, while we try to make this happen. We are on Starlink, so we're using new technology. Things are not always perfect. Anyways, the groups would allegedly follow victims after they use an ATM or emerge from inside the bank, striking them at their homes or businesses. In one especially bold move, the thieves are accused of purposefully crashing into a victim's car to force a stop, robbing them at gunpoint. And from August 2023 to July of 2024, prosecutors say the groups robbed 34 victims of over $155,000 across 5 Maryland counties. At the time of publishing, a total of 7 people have been indicted. So pretty crazy stuff there. Now let's just see here. I want to make sure we are still up and running indeed. I'm going to double check on Restream here. And it looks like we're up. It looks like we're going. That's good to see. Unable to connect. Interesting. Okay, let's try to reconnect to X here. Unable to connect to X. Oh, here we go. We might get back on now. There we go. We're back on X. Okay. Not sure why it disconnected, but kept me up on YouTube. But either way, looks like we're back at it here. Let's give it a sec here and see if it's going to cooperate. Does appear like it's working okay, from what I can tell. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. All right. Okay, I see people joining in. What's up, folks? We might have a bit of a spotty connection. We are on Starlink here on satellite, so things might not be perfect, but we out here, we doing it. Let's continue here. We got a few scams to talk about today. We're gonna get to some crazy stuff. If you haven't noticed, the market's just been absolutely fucking going crazy, pumping like nuts. Chrome unleashes AI to block scam notifications before they trick you. Finally, somebody's doing something about a lot of this bullshit. Good to see. Chrome is rolling out a defense system that catches scammy notifications before they can do harm. The browser's latest update for Android devices now uses on-device machine learning to identify and flag suspicious notifications that might be trying to trick you into downloading sketchy software or handing over personal information. When a notification is flagged by Chrome, you'll see the name of the site sending the notification, a message warning the contents of the notification are potentially deceptive or spammy, and the option to either unsubscribe from the site or see the flagged content. And that's only on Android, apparently. I'm not sure why Apple's not involved with that, but interesting stuff. At least some of these companies who have the power to do something about the stuff are actually trying to do something about the stuff now instead of just letting it ride. You know, it's kind of ridiculous. All right, so here we're talking about 30 years in prison for funding ISIS. Crypto trail leads to a harsh U.S. sentence. Funding ISIS is never good, obviously, folks. Federal judge sentenced Mohammed Azrada Chippa, oh my God, to 30 years and 4 months in prison for channeling more than $185,000 in cryptocurrency to the Islamic State, the Department of Justice announced on May 8th. Federal prosecutors demonstrated that between October 2019 and 2022, Chippa systematically raised cash online and in person, converted it to crypto, and transferred it to operatives in Turkey. These funds were transported across the Syrian border to finance ISIS fighters' salaries and facilitate prison escapes for female members. During his 3-year operation, Chippa employed multiple evasion methods. For example, he masked his trail with misspelled email aliases, burner phones, and false-looking names. Law enforcement intercepted him on an Interpol Blue notice after he attempted to flee through Mexico en route to Egypt. Those who fund and facilitate terrorism bear the same responsibility as those who carry out the attacks, says a U.S. attorney. And that's fair, that's valid, you know what I mean? Additionally, on March 27th, the Justice Department seized roughly $200,000 in crypto tied to wallets controlled by Hamas, which had reportedly laundered more than $1.5 million since October 2024. Chippa's 30-year term, one of the most severe penalties ever imposed for crypto-enabled terror financing, shows a hardened stance that the U.S. courts will treat digital money trials no different from cash when they end in violence. Mixers and tumblers distort transaction trails, blending illicit funds with legitimate activity. Chain hopping adds another layer of obfuscation, bounding crypto assets across blockchains to fracture forensic tracking. Some even weaponize fake ICOs, laundering money under the guise of startup investments. We're going to talk a little bit more about this as the episode goes on here. Authorities worldwide have not relented with their crackdown. Prosecutors in the UK accused the teenager of showing ideological support for terrorist groups and allegedly raising over $1,300 in funding for the terrorist group Al-Qaeda. Now, that being said, will the EU's that we talked about the European Union's new rules on crypto the other day. Will the EU's new crypto rules stop terrorism financing? Well, fear of crypto funding terror groups has long stalled mainstream adoption. As the EU weighs wider cryptocurrency use, regulators and officials are working to close that gap. A companion rule, active since May 2023, now forces every cryptocurrency transfer to include full sender and receiver ID, giving investigators a clear trail. I don't know how they're actually going to enforce this between wallets. Like, anyone can just transfer crypto to anybody else's wallet, so I don't know how that's actually going to work out, but I guess we'll see. The new package builds a central anti-money laundering authority, also known as AMLA, with the power to coordinate probes, levy fines, and freeze accounts across all 27 states in the EU. From July 1st, 27, exchanges will have to cease all anonymity pool or all anonymity tool operations entirely. No privacy coins, no unhosted wallets, and regulators blacklist the IP addresses of non-compliant decentralized platforms. So, kind of crazy. A lot of extra control happening here in the crypto markets these days, but regulation is important, folks. UK police have arrested 3 in a $20 million crypto scam investigation. A spokesperson for the Met told Decrypt that the trio were detained as part of an operation called Gala Farm, a long-running investigation into crypto fraud that saw members of the public targeted with fake investment opportunities. It's alleged more than 15 million euros or $20 million US in stolen funds was laundered through a set of shell companies. Law enforcement agents in the UK have been stepping up their efforts against crypto crime in recent years. The government has granted police forces as well as the National Crime Agency greater powers to seize, freeze, and destroy digital assets used by criminals. I doubt they're going to destroy them. They're almost certainly going to keep them in like a fund of some sort that the government is going to use, similar to how the US is doing it. NCA estimates indicate that illicit crypto transactions worth up to $5.1 billion are linked to the UK every single year. Absolutely nuts, folks. That's a staggering amount of money. British government currently holds more than 61,000 Bitcoin seized from criminals, which is now worth in excess of $6.1 billion after the crypto returned to six-figure territory earlier this week. But last week, the Economic Secretary to the Treasury confirmed the UK has no plans to follow in Donald Trump's footsteps by creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Do you think they're actually going to destroy the crypto that they take, folks? Tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments. We got mosquitoes flying around here. They're fucking huge already. 98% of tokens on Pump.fun flagged as scams. Solidus Labs report reveals. Well, of course. I mean, this is why we don't really like Solana. Additionally, similar issues have been identified on Radium, a major decentralized exchange on Solana. PumpFun has issued over 7 million tokens, folks, since its launch in January 2024. That is absolutely nuts. However, only 97,000 of those tokens have maintained a liquidity of at least $1,000, which is less than 1.4% of the total tokens. More alarmingly, 98.6% of tokens issued on the platform have been identified as scams or show signs of fraudulent trading. One of the largest scams uncovered by Solidus Labs involved MT token, resulting in losses of up to $1.9 million. Beyond Pump.fun, Solidus Labs found that 93% of the 361,000 liquidity pools on Radium exhibit soft rug pull characteristics. This is a form of scam where developers gradually withdraw liquidity, causing losses for investors. Notably, Radium also recently launched LaunchLab to compete with Pump.fun. About 25% of these scams involved amounts less than $732. However, the median rug pull involved about $2,800 worth. And as they mentioned, the largest rug pull was about $1.9 million. Now, this ties into the largest crypto hack that's ever happened that we talked about a little while back. Authorities have shut down EXCH platform in a 34 million euro crypto seizure. German authorities dismantled the crypto exchange EXCH this Thursday and seized various digital assets valued at 34 million euro, about $38 million. The operation, coordinated with Dutch officials, marks the third largest crypto asset seizure ever recorded by Germany's Federal Crime Police. The service, active since 2014, allowed users to swap different cryptos through the domain exch.ex and other addresses operating on both the regular internet and darknet sites. For years, the platform promoted its services on underground forums and marketplaces that lacked AML controls, becoming a common channel for transactions linked to illicit economies. The assets frozen in this operation include Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Dash, all frequently used in these environments. The investigation also connects this platform to one of this year's largest thefts in the crypto industry. Prosecutors suspect that a portion of the $1.5 billion stolen from the Bybit exchange during a February 21st, 2025 hack may have been routed through this platform. While authorities didn't release exact figures, they do believe the platform served as a channel to conceal and disperse funds tied to the incident. EXCH had planned to voluntarily shut down on May 1st, but authorities moved in on April 30th to prevent those responsible from moving funds or erasing evidence before operation ceased. Although the operation took place at the end of last month, German and Dutch officials only made the details public today, disclosing the seized assets and the outcome of the investigation. Pretty crazy stuff. Court delivers a 12-year sentence to the Celsius founder amid controversy. The decision comes after Mashinsky pleaded guilty to charges of fraud and market manipulation, which authorities say undermined investor confidence and left retail investors facing significant losses. Despite his legal team's pleas for leniency, citing his previously unblemished record, military service, and willingness to accept responsibility, the court sided with prosecutors who painted a grimmer picture of a man who targeted ordinary investors for personal gain, which is disgusting behavior. Former Celsius CEO's defense argued that his actions, although flawed, should warrant a much lighter sentence, offering figures as low as 1 year and a day. However, federal prosecutors made it clear that Celsius's Alex Mashinsky fraudulent conduct was deliberate. The judge's decision to impose a 12-year sentence not only serves as punishment for Mashinsky's actions, but also sets a critical precedent for the crypto industry at large. By holding him accountable for misusing customer funds and misleading investors, the ruling sends a strong message that fraudulent practices will not be tolerated regardless of previous accolades or a promising resume. And that's good. That's good in my opinion. Elon Musk's meme coin power is losing its punch. His latest social media stunt, adopting the name Gorklon Rust and switching his profile picture to match, gave a brief boost to Solana-based token named Gork, but the momentum didn't last. Gork peaked at around 75 million market cap after Musk's post, only to drop back quickly, highlighting a pattern seen in several of his recent crypto shoutouts. In earlier 2025, a token tied to his Harry Bowles gag barely reached 10 million. I actually lost some money on that. I got in and didn't get out in time. None of them broke the $100 million barrier, a far cry from the days when a single Musk tweet could add billions to Dogecoin. Analysts now question whether his crypto influence is still relevant despite a social reach of over 200 million. Even Musk's most outlandish gestures are struggling to ignite lasting rallies. One trader remarked that today's fragmented meme coin scene, flooded with clones like we were just talking about, and low-effort cash grabs, have diluted the power of any individual endorsement, even his. And it's true. The big issue that we're having with this bull run, which I don't really think it's too much of an issue, although a lot of funds are dispersed and stuck on the Solana nonsense, and people are sick of getting rugged. Adding to the problem are the instant knockoff tokens that appear on platforms like Pump.fun, each siphoning off investor interest and eroding trust. It's a major problem, folks. I don't know how we're going to deal with it. I don't know what's to come, but I do know what I hold, and so should you. Binance cuts the BSC gas fees by 90%. Binance has announced a significant reduction in gas fees for its wallet on the Binance Alpha BSC chain, cutting costs to 1/10 the previous rates. Lower fees on the BSC could increase activity and potentially make the network more attractive, particularly for decentralized applications. The announcement has already been acknowledged positively within the community. And that makes sense, right? You've got a lot of people jumping ship from Solana to BNB, and lowering the fee is only going to attract more people, in my opinion. This gas fee cut directly affects the BNB token, the native asset for transaction fees on the BSC. The enhanced cost efficiency supports Binance's strategic aim to strengthen its competitive edge in the decentralized finance ecosystem. Pretty cool stuff. Binance isn't allowed in Canada anymore anyway, so it doesn't really matter to us Canadians, but Ripple just won big, folks. This is huge, huge, huge XRP news. This is what we've been waiting for. $75 million back from the SEC, and XRP is on fire. If you haven't checked the charts, folks, the markets have been pumping. And XRP is not even among the top gainers, right? You got Bartcoin that's up like 30-something%. You got Pepe that's up like 30-something%. XRP only made like 8% yesterday, I think, but still, nonetheless, we're moving. We're up. Ripple has achieved a significant legal triumph over the SEC, bringing an end to years of regulatory ambiguity surrounding its XRP token. As part of the settlement, the SEC will keep $50 million of the initially suggested fine, while returning $75 million to Ripple. Crazy, folks. This is huge. The decisive outcome marks the culmination of prolonged legal battle that began in 2020. XRP price soars amid renewed market optimism. Well, has it ever? The news has sent shockwaves through the market as XRP's price experienced a surge of over 10% immediately following the announcement. Investors and traders, long wary of the regulatory crackdown, are now more confident in the digital asset's future. The swift rally reflects not only the relief that comes with the settlement, but also renewed optimism about potential approvals for XRP-related financial products, including an XRP ETF. So definitely a step in the right direction. Super exciting, bullish stuff, and we're right in time with what I've been talking about, what a bunch of other people have been talking about, which is, the 2017 cycle. We're very close to matching what's happening there. 69,536,183 XRP transfer stuns major US crypto exchange. Whale Alert identified a massive transfer of over 29.5 million XRP worth $69.5 million, leading to a US-based crypto exchange, Coinbase. The large transaction has raised eyebrows as it coincides with the ongoing bull market run, prompting investors to closely monitor on-chain activities. According to the data, the massive transfer was executed by an unknown wallet address in a single transaction, suggesting a possible sell-off attempt. Although the exact motive behind the transaction remains unclear, it has sparked a concern within the XRP community, especially as it aligns with a period of bullish momentum for the token. Despite the transfer, XRP continues to exhibit strong bullish indicators over the past 24 hours. We're in a bull run, folks. It's a utility bull run, though. I keep saying this, once, utility takes over, all bets are off for all the speculation. Is the crypto market entering an altcoin season in May 2025? It's kind of what's been predicted over and over by people following the 2017 run-up, right? Altcoin season could be on the horizon as momentum shifts across the crypto market. Bitcoin dominance fell sharply from over 65% to 63.89%, just as Bitcoin broke past the $100,000 mark the first time since February 3rd. Now, I heard that in my last episode, we talked about this as well, folks, but I heard that Bitcoin has to go up to 71% dominance and then sharply fall to officially be an altcoin season based on previous data. Now, that doesn't always ring true, right? History doesn't repeat itself necessarily, but often rhymes is what they like to say. This triggered a broad altcoin rally with Ethereum up nearly 13%, and major names like Sol, Doge, and ADA each gaining more than 6%. Like I said, they're not even mentioning the big gainers like Pepe and Farcoin, but I mean, those are meme coins anyway, so it is what it is. Moving on, a few more articles here for us tonight, folks. This test seems to be going pretty well, which is pretty exciting stuff. Ethereum posts the biggest weekly gain in 4 years as Bitcoin, XRP, and Sol surge. Ether jumped 25% this week, its biggest gain since May of 2021. Bitcoin held above $100,000 and ended its 4th straight week in the green. Solana rose 14.3% this week after a 2-day surge of 16%. And the rally didn't happen in isolation. The entire crypto market heated up and Bitcoin led the charge, as it always does. Bitcoin is the king at this point still, holding its ground well above 100,000. And I heard it hit 140,000 Canadian, which is like, I don't know, 105 or something like that, 110,000 maybe, something like that. I didn't actually check myself. But anyways, over 1 billion in stablecoins flood Binance. Is a major bull run brewing? Well, I mean, there's a lot of articles talking about this major bull run coming, and we're right in line with the 2017 estimation, speculation, if you want to call it. But it's, again, history doesn't repeat itself. It often rhymes, and we're looking awfully tasty. We're expecting a second huge run up into June type of thing, and it's going to cool off until the final blow off top of this market, which should be, end of the year, October, November, December type of thing, maybe even early into the new year. But nearly 1 billion in stablecoins landed on Binance in one day. This week's data points to rising market confidence. It also echoes patterns from past bull runs, as I've been talking about. Yet regulatory uncertainty may still cap gains. Here's what the numbers say. Binance now holds the largest stablecoin reserves among centralized exchange. Its stash has grown every month since November of 2024. So pretty crazy stuff there. A few more to get through here, folks. Why is Ethereum beating Bitcoin with explosive gains? Well, this is going to tell us a little more about what's really happening in the market. For the past 2 years, Ethereum's price has lagged behind Bitcoin, but over the past 2 days, ETH has been outpacing Bitcoin and other major coins, with 3 analysts whom Decrypt contacted attributing its huge gains to a flawlessly executed technical upgrade and a few hopeful signs about the global economy. The market is poised to reward ETH, the world's second largest crypto asset, as it emerges from internal challenges, Layer 1 competition, and Q1 risk-off pressures. On Thursday, the second largest crypto, they're talking about ETH, smashed through the $2,000 threshold and later topped 2,400 early Friday, hitting its highest level in more than 3 months. Those gains, a continuation of upswing in markets dating to early April, accelerated on Wednesday after the so-called Petra upgrade, which aims to improve the Ethereum network scalability and user-friendliness. Pre-launch testing of the upgrade hit some snags, but those were ironed out in time for the mainnet launch, which encountered no such issues. Now, Coinbase launches 24/7 Bitcoin Ethereum futures trading. I mean, cool, I guess. It's more, towards the mass adoption and regulation side of things. But, if you're going to do futures, just get on, Blowfin or, CoinEx or something like that. It's going to be a better option. But learn how to do it. You know what I mean? Futures ain't easy, folks. And you're going to lose money for sure. But eventually, if you are the type that can understand it well, you may start to learn something with futures for sure and become quite proficient at it. You got to look at the bigger picture, I'll tell you that. But this move allows investors round-the-clock access to leverage futures contracts, addressing the limitations of traditional market hours. But I mean, Bitcoin and Ethereum are always 24 hours with leverage as well. So I don't know, what exactly is going on here that's so special. But anyways, Noto Clear executive stated, we're excited to provide clearing support for the 24/7 trading of crypto futures contracts, facilitating a new level of access for U.S. traders in the derivatives market. This breakthrough aligns U.S. trading with the crypto market's continuous operations, providing broader market access and opening up new opportunities for investors. Market responses have been positive, with industries noting the transformed accessibility of futures trading. Coinbase emphasized the regulated environment for these products, signaling a new era for U.S. retail investors. And I mean, what do you think? Maybe they're going to make ETFs for Bitcoin and XRP and Solana and whatever else tradable 24/7. Who knows? It's hard to say what's going to come, but I think we're going to see a lot changing and a lot happening in the next few months to the next year or two. Final article for today, folks. Oh, that's it. I guess that was the final article for today. All right, fantastic. Well, there you have it. I appreciate y'all sticking with me today. It's been a bit of a shorter episode. Like I said, this was kind of a test. We are out here in the woods on Starlink. Super exciting stuff. Going to be doing more episodes. I'm super swamped right now. We got a festival coming up next weekend, and I got a lot to do for that. We also got a bunch of camp stuff to do. We didn't get fully set up here till about 2 a.m. last night, and even then, there's a bunch of minutia to deal with. So we're going to be getting that stuff happening, but I will try to be around giving you the most up-to-date crypto news that you need to know, folks, as much as I can while we're out here. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, check out www.quantzilla online. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you hit us up on Deck Screener. We got announcements happening. We got airdrops happening. Super exciting stuff there. And I guess we'll catch you in the next episode, folks. Stay tuned. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and appreciate y'all. Bless and love. Bless and love.